really beautiful angle where something isn't going to constantly be biting that loud next to us. Maybe like somewhere over, I don't know, over here. So we'll have like a little bit there. We'll have some sun. I don't know. I'm gonna find a really convenient, nice looking spot, and then we will go AFK, having a Minecraft background while we do some talking. And actually, right about, I want the sun. I want some cool oceanic water look, or at least a cool background, right? To offset what we're looking at. So we'll have some clouds, the sunlight, like the sun being in the background, the fresh water to make the realistic look to adequately, show off Minecraft and what you guys can have compared to the base game, while we also do something in the background. That thing we're going to do in the background is what I just said we were going to do last video, and that is going to be I'm going to restart the server with a different game, meaning I'm going to have to install that game as a server to Nitrado, and then after we will be able to do everything else. And actually, a good little redwoods here with this wouldn't be too bad, but I do want another, you know what? We might be able to still render in the redwoods from this boat, maybe. Make it look like we're just standing off the back of the boat, because those guys aren't going to look at us. So we can actually stand off the back of the boat, making it look like we are actually selling, looking at this, and still getting that, where hopefully the moon still takes that. Probably not. So we'll move. Oh, we actually just rendered in a whole nother boat. Yeah, there we go. That actually looks pretty cool. I want a good, look at the sun as well from this. So we'll stand about, I don't know, we want something that doesn't have a full cell mass that is blocking this. So something where it was pointed more towards this would have been awesome. We'll stand like up here. So we can say like land ho, we get this good little background. So you can see how the water shimmers on the right, how the water has a little bit more of a realistic view. We got a redwoods to the left, and then we still have the sun in our sight, which actually is rotating right now to bring the moon in mood. Let's keep looking. I feel like we can do better. I don't know why, I just do. Okay, I do feel like we can find a better biome, or a better way to keep the sun and the moon in the shot to show the different lighting effects, the morning effects, the different stuff we can get in Minecraft, and how smooth this runs compared to what my Arma was just running. By the way, guys, yeah, it is a different game, but you can see the texture detail is a little lower, but we can have realism physics for some of the stuff and not really lose out on like actually too much performance, if that makes sense compared to what we have. And we have a whole lot more installed to this server, by the way, than we had with the other stuff. And we are getting these spawning in, which is really cool, which actually comes off one of my other things. We know those mods are working correctly now because we seen one of the structures earlier. Wish I could find one of the desert ones, because the desert ones are my favorite ones. They look a whole lot better than the jungle ones do. But we found one of the jungle ones, so I know it's still working. Holy crap, this is a legit ocean. I'm not gonna lie, we've been flying over ocean for a pretty long time now, and I mean we do have really cool like little islands that stick up and stuff like that. That will have the different seasons, like terrain and biomes of plenty, biomes and all different types of stuff is going to be through this. But we need an AFK spot. AFK spot. You know what? Let's do this. Why not? We have a boat. I mean, yeah, it's not that, but we can see there's like this, there's coral. We can see how the, sun is reacting with the water, the realism water effects. I mean, we don't get to see like a really cool background, but you know what? It'll stay there. And we'll let it kind of revolve around and show the different times of day, the moon cycles, what the night looks like, and the cool texture pack with a boat. And then we'll come in here and change that ever so often, so we're not staring at the same thing over and over and over for like an hour. Right? But let's sit down and do the first things first. So the first things first for, a Ark Survival Ascended server is we have to take our one we made for this game, hit switch game, by the way, on Nitrado, and then we just go find what we're doing. We're going to type in Ark, and then we want Ark Survival Ascended, and for PS4. So we have to look for Ark Survival Ascended. Oh, we can't actually do Ascended because the minimum slots is 20. I'm not joking. Literally, it says Ark Survival Ascended. Your server needs 20 slots as a minimum to install. Game, upgrade now. Okay. That is RIP. Right out the gate. So I actually can't even do that because I need 20 slots minimal instead of 10. What would it be to upgrade that? Just for giggles. I just want to kind of look at that. Upgrades and downgrades. So if I wanted, so I need 20 slots minimal. So we'll say 20. By the way, standard right now is 124 megabytes. You can actually upgrade this. So let's say I wanted ultimate. We want it to run for 3 days, which by the way is supposed to be 3 days, not 2, because again, tomorrow would be 2 days, but my server ends tomorrow, which would be 2 days, not 3 Nitrado. But anyways, if I wanted it to go for 3 days, I would be looking at $12.99, and that's before tax. If I wanted 30 days, I'm looking at $51.59. If I'm looking at 90 days, which by the way is 3 months, because instead of saying 3 days, 1 month, 3 months, and a year, right? They say 30 days, 90 days, 365 days. But 90 days is 154.59. For 365 days, which is a whole year, is the equivalent of $515.49. And that's to run with the ultimate package, which is 8,192 megabytes of space, by the way, RAM wise, and only 20 players. I feel like that's a ripoff. Okay. Because literally the standard, which is 1,024 megabytes, okay, is standard, no extra cost. To go to 3,000 is $20. To go to professional is $40, and to go to ultimate is the equivalent of $86. I'm not joking with you. Nitrado, hardware performance here for what this is, I should not be charged for. I should already have the ultimate edition of this, no matter what server I buy, with no cost. Let's be honest behind that. This should not even be a thing. When I purchase a server from Nitrado, it should already be up as high as it can be performance wise. But anyways, it is RIP. But let's say I wanted the ultimate package with 20 slots, which by the way, if you're actually looking for an Arma server, you want something at least 52 slots. And at that point, everything is even more expensive. So we went from $40 to 64. Okay, we'll call it $65 because the cents. So we'll say the cents with the tax combined is $65. Okay, for 30 days, saving 10% on 90 days is $174. And by the way, it jumped from $500 and something for a year to now nearly 700. It's six. We'll say $650 after tax. That is RIP. Okay, but anyways, Um, maybe Ultimate needs to be the base price. Okay. Oh dear Lord, I wasn't even on Ultimate when I went to the 52. It reset it. Oh, I was off. 30 days on Ultimate with 52 slots actually is based $105.39. That's basically nearly $110 just for 30 days. Ugh. Next, 90 days? Forget that 150. It's literally nearly $300 just for 90 days, guys. It's literally $284.49. And that's with save 10% because it would be $316.17. But let's keep moving. A whole year, guys, 52 slots on the Ultimate Edition upgrade for server size, for, megabytes, whatever, for a whole year is $1,053.19. Brother, I don't know about you. Okay, and I really don't know about you guys. But a service that just runs a server in the background for some reason is more money than the game itself. Think of that for a second. Not only do you pay $50 for the game, but now you have to out of pocket pay $1,000 just for a whole fucking year to run a service. And to let you know how horribly fucking stupid that is. Okay, and I hate to say this, dude. I really do. How horribly fucking stupid this is, Nitrado. There is something that actually does more than what you are doing. Not only does it connect to multiple different servers to not only hide my IP, but completely change it to show a different IP, but it lets me remove shit off of the black, lets me know when shit's on the black web. It lets me remove like anything about me offline. So where some people go to what do you call it? Like we have to go manually to file like, hey, I want my information taken off. Um yeah, they can automate that service, by the way. Um I'm not lying with you guys. They automate it, right? You can click to automate it. It will auto search for things that has like your info on websites or whatever and auto request it to be taken down. Um, it auto pre-checks your computer for viruses and removes them if it can. Not only does it detect if stuff has a virus, so it keeps your computer or phone safe, you can put it on up to 5 to 10 different accounts, meaning like devices, I mean. So not only can I put it on my computer, I can put it on my phone, I can put it on my friend's computer, I can put it on my friend's phone, I can put it on my grandmother's computer because she doesn't want it on her phone, right? 5 different devices. And that's only $150 a year. Nitrado, you do less than that. And you're asking people to pay 1,000 a year, brother. And I'm not even listing like half the stuff it has. Go look up Norton antivirus, guys. Literally, just go to Norton on your computer and look at all the shit they get you on the professional package and compare it to what a Nitrado server is, and look at the price differences. Nitrado is ripping everyone off right now. So where I talk good about Nitrado literally in my last stream. Guys, don't use Nitrado. Raise your pitchforks And do not order from them. Let them fill it. They're probably not going to see any more money come from me. And hopefully not you either. Okay? Especially for ripping you guys off. And yes, that is a ripoff. Especially when I could go look up ARC servers, like anywhere else to host ARC servers from. I bet you I can get the same performance with RAM, right? Meaning when I go over here and I'm looking at the Ultimate Edition here, I could probably do the RAM, still do 52 slots, do it for a year, and still only look at like $100, right? Not 1,000. I think I put that out there at one point when I started noticing Nitrado ripping his people off. Yeah, they are. And I would hate to see what a hundred and what I think it's like 125 slot server, which is the max Arma can do. I'd hate to see what the price is for 125 players at the max RAM, right? Meaning the professional package they have in there for an entire fucking year is. Because at 52 at professionals 1,000, we're probably looking at $3,000 for 125 people. You know what? Just so I can let's actually slide bar this and look at the price. I'm actually curious at this point, right? So we wanted 100 and we'll say 125 people at the Ultimate Edition for a whole year. Okay, it's not 3,000, it's 2,000. Just shy of it, but after tax would be 2,000. It is $1,997.39. I'm not joking to you guys. Legit after tax, that is $2,000 for a server. Okay? Dear Lord, who has $2,000 every year just to put in for a server only? Like something it just runs that multiple people can connect to and play together on. Think of that. $2,000 for that. And they're saying that consoles now are stepping outside of being budget builds. Dear Lord. Like consoles jumping up to that $1,000 marker. At least the console actually can download multiple different games, be ran to watch TV, multiple different shit, right? Because not only is it TV, it's games. It's basically a fucking computer, right? Because you can still web search on it for the most part, except for the PS5 now. But the PS4 did, right? So technically it was kind of like a computer. Again, doing more than Nitrado, and it was $400. I mean, I could see with like the different stuff going into it, it being $1,000 for a console, but $1,000 for a server is insane. And usually, what it's about $1 per person, so per player. So a 10 slot server should be $10. Okay. At 125, if we done 125 plus the, we'll say $80 it's asking for, should only be around the $200 marker, not 2,000. Right? And that is, we'll say 200, we'll say 205. 205 for 365 days, which what is paid monthly, 12 months a year. So if we done 205 times 12 would be the legitimate asking price, but they're saying they're doing a discount off, and that's why it's basically 2,000. Guys, it is not cool. Okay. A server is just a place, for instance, where me, my friends can connect to, no matter what game it's on. It's we both can set in it, we can play it, it's online. And it's a private server, meaning anyone we invite, right? If it's private, if it's not, then it shows up under a server list that anyone can join, but even then it's still a private server because we have the right to choose who can and can't play on it. Think of it, ban lists. Yeah, we can go around banning anybody we like, which seems wrong. But at the end of the day, if we don't like someone being on there, again, it's basically a private server. We can just put that name onto the ban list and then they can no longer connect. If you want to think of it in that way, right? But again, my server, you know, that is hosting from a game cannot connect to a YouTube video to watch it, so it's not a TV. I can't connect to Netflix using it, so again, it's not a TV. So we can't say it has a multi-use purpose that way. All it does is can download mods to put onto a server and run a server. I'm sorry, it doesn't protect me from the internet. Let's be honest. Like, it doesn't actively check to see if a mod has a virus. It throws it on there if I choose to download it or not, right? So we can't say it's an antivirus. It doesn't check the black web to say, hey, your identification shit is posted on the black web. So I can't say like it's anything that actually helps me secure my identity. It actually doesn't. So we can't say it's that. So why is it $1,000 for a year? Natrado. We need to do better. Okay. We need to do better. And I know I'm saying it in a way that some people would feel like it's absurd to try to compare it. But at the end of the day, it only does one thing. It hosts a location that multiple people can connect to play together. At that point, no, it is not something that is worth $1,000 for a whole year. Okay. To be honest with you, it actually should be priced at like 50 cents per player. At 125 players at 50 cents is actually half of the cost. So if we done 125 divided by half and then done the half into the whole year paid monthly, would actually be respectable. Okay, it would be. And then on top of that, everyone that orders a server through the service is paying that. So if 5,000 people is ordering from Nitrado, you can kind of see where that money banks in. And yes, a good margin of that profit does go out the window because, yeah, they have to build more server providers that then can host more people hosting servers. But at the end of the day, they're still gaining a profit, especially since a lot of the stuff they get, they're partnered. Okay? I say it like that because it isn't like they pay full price for everything like me and you would. They're partnered. So they actually get it at a discount, especially if they get known and they keep buying it up. They get partnered to the items they're getting to buy it at a discount so they can get more of it. So that way both businesses can benefit off of each other. So where something we might ask for would be $100, they might get it at 50. Okay? So they do get a discount. With that also being said, everything they put up, divide it by half. Okay? Or they might have a buy one, get one free deal, where if they buy one, they get another one free. But again, that is still divided by half. So, yeah, they, in the long game, will make bank. So, do they need to price everything at $1,000 for a whole year for what I just said? No. Me, that feels like it's a scam because they're trying to rip money as fast as they can from people before they cut the platform, meaning you're not going to get your whole bit and they're going to yoink it and not have a way for you to refund it, which hopefully they don't. But two, they're just trying to pull as much as they possibly can get from you without giving two shits. Because again, instead of giving you at the base price, the max upgrade, they're having you pull the switch to do the upgrade. And the funny thing is, I didn't even see this upgrade when I went to go get the trial server. I did not get to move the bar to upgrade or not. I clicked on it, and literally it just asked me how many people and how long. It didn't tell me I could upgrade the RAM to my server. It didn't. It only done that after the fact when I had to upgrade my server to be able to throw Arc onto it, if that makes sense any. So it's like a carpet scheme. So Arc is not the fault for that. Nitrado, we need to do better. Ultimate should already be what the server RAM is. Remove the goddamn price from that. And second hand, all servers for slots, you know how many slots you get, should only be 50 cents per person. You're still going to make bank from that. Because again, let's say that turns out 50 cents per person for a whole year is $200. If we done $200 times 20 people, that's a lot. And then now if we done $200 times 20 people, those 20 people run 20 servers. Hold up. Well, let's do some math here. Okay? Just to show the money they are pulling in or could be pulling in and why I'm saying $1,000 yearly is bullshit. And I do know this because, Arc server providers, or not server providers, people that run servers on Arc try to get every map possible in order for you to, upload your character and transfer it to the new map, right? Which is called a cluster. So not only can you take your character to the center, but you can take that same character to the island or to I'm trying to remember the names of the maps. I haven't played Ark in a minute. Lost Island, I believe, is one of them. Or to another one. You get it. There's like 5 or 6 maps, right? But we're not going to go over that. We're just going to go over if 20 people rent 20 servers for the whole year, and let's say the yearly is $200. So first off, what we do is we do the 200, okay? Oh, not 9,000, 200, okay? Times the amount of people, which by the way is 20, which is already $4,000. But wait, what if all 20 people decided to run 20 servers? So then we would do times 20. They're already making $80,000 from 20 people. Okay? Just 20 people. $80,000. And that's $200 yearly. Now let's stick with what they have now. And I'm going to show you why this is like fucking ripped off and all of that, okay? Because we already said that's $80,000. And that's from 20 people. There's thousands of people buying servers from Nitrado. Just look how many servers across how many games they have, okay? I don't need to continue that argument. But let's pre-base this at the $1,000 marker. It's over it, but we'll say 1,000 times 20 people. That's 20,000 times 20 servers. $400,000 they are making off of 20 people, especially if 20 people are running 20 different servers. And that's just 20 people they're making $400,000 off of. You see what's going on there, right? And this is even 1,000, not the $2,000 price point we've seen. Let's do the $2,000 price point, shall we? So at $2,000 times 20 people times every one of those people is running 20 servers, $800,000 a year from just 20 people. To let you know how much money they could actually be making right now, let's say there is 500 people, okay, who ordered one server apiece at $2,000 a year at 500 people. Do you know how much money they're making that year just off of 500 people? That is $1 million base profit. And that's if no one ran extra servers. Let's say they all, times three'd that. Like they all ran 3 servers. $3 million. Bro, the owner who divides the cash between anyone who runs Nitrado, that's $3 million just for 3 people. And that's not the equivalent. That's just the base price. Like I run one. There's people here like, hold on. If I went back into Arma Reforger, you guys would see it. Just go when I look at my Arma Reforger video before this one. Please go to my video before this one. Look how many Arma Reforger servers they are. Now I'm not going to say they all come from Nitrado, but I will say there's at least 30 people or more running Arma Reforger. And if they all paid this much for the year, think of the price they'd be doing. And I'm saying 500. This is not just Arma Reforger. This is Arma Reforger, Minecraft, and I don't mean realms. I mean legit servers like you see here, or Xbox and PC actually gets, where you can actually do a real server from Nitrado, right? Which has bucket servers, spigot servers, all the different stuff for plugins and modded servers, right? Or, the servers that come with both plugins and mods, which I think is the spigot servers. But you guys get the idea, right? Literally at 500 people running a server per year that holds 120 something, 125 people in the server is literally $3 million. Okay. And that's if they ran 3 servers each. Now, some of these aren't going to be doing that. But again, like if you play Ark, you get the idea. Especially when you see Ascended 1, Ascended 2, the Island, the Center, Vulgaro. That's 5. And there's more than that. There's ones that literally host every fucking map, if not 2 of the same maps, okay? Especially like when people like, what is that? It's Rag? Yeah, Ragnarok. Where there's actually people who love that map. So servers host like 2 or 3 iterations of that map so people can actually play that map, right? You get the idea that I'm telling you guys here. They are literally Jeff Bezoing their community to literally just live any lifestyle they want, buy any car, any mansion, any house, and looking like they are just paying a $3 bill, bro, to somewhere. I'm not lying. They could look at a few $1 million down and go, oh, that's just $3 to me. They are ripping their platform off. Or should I say, the consumers off. Okay? They're asking for more than they should be. Especially showing you guys they're making $1 million off of very few people a year. They're looking at like, I'll say somewhere of $5 million to $20 million a year from customers per year. Okay? They're somewhere in that market bracket yearly. And I mean, I went over it. 20 people, 20 servers at the price point per year was like, it was ungodly, man. I hate to say that. It's just, it's phenomenal how everyone thinks just because of how things are nowadays that everything should be super priced. Okay? No. No, no, no. Tone the charges down. Bring it back to reality. Okay? That never should see anywhere but a fourth of what that $2,000 is. A fourth. For a whole year at the max base at 125 people should only ever see something like $150. All right. That is within the realm of concept of something right, not overpriced. Natrado, let's fix those prices. Okay? Really fix those prices. Not to mention, the amount of money they paid, I get it. You guys paid people that hacked you, and they probably ruined it for a lot of us. But, bro, if they would limit so many servers under a particular IP, would be great. Per user and IP would have been a lot better. That way they wouldn't been hit as hard. And I mean, yeah, they'd be hit, but not as hard. Think about it. One computer cannot share 4 IPs to be able to make 4 different accounts off of each different IP. I mean, if it can, it just hasn't been made yet or done. But, anyways, let's, you know, get those prices fixed, Nitrado. I want to call you good again, but at this point I can't, especially with like servers that don't download the files 100% correctly on the first go or 90% of the time is crazy. Because whatever like whatever version of the game, whatever files that are supposed to come should immediately come through. I should not be missing like code line errors, like, like for instance, where my mods should have been there literally day one, download one. How about the mission type from my Arma Reforger server where I had to copy it from someone else to put it into my thing, which is already something that's supposed to be in your file anyways? Was not there on both downloads. I had to literally copy it and paste it in the second iteration, which also was missing it. Is crazy. So on top of the laziness of actually making sure everything is working 99% of the time, you're asking for people for half-ass service to pay as if they're working overtime. Is crazy. So yeah, I'd have to side with the consumer on that one. Fix it. But guys, because I can't even do like a Ark Survival Descended server, because realistically, a server shouldn't be met to a bare minimum of less than one, not 20, one. Okay, because a server's meant for you and your friends. Why would I want to waste my money on something that is 10 people when maybe I'm only making the server for 4? Why am I paying for the extra people that will never see that server? Know what I mean? When I rent a server, it should be for any amount I want, no matter the game. Let's put it this way. What if I wanted an Ark server where I'm doing a certain playthrough, especially for my YouTube, and the only people that I want on it is like 4 people? So it'd be 5, including myself. We'll say a 5-person server. Me and 4 people hunting me down. Me trying to survive and try to beat Ark with 4 people hunting me. Let's say I wanted to do that, which is what people do on Minecraft anyways. But let's say I wanted to bring that to Ark. ASA. Why do I need to pay for 10? You get my point, right? I'm paying for stuff that's not going to be used. That's a waste of money. I should be able to pay no matter the amount of players I want, should be the option I choose. I should not have to meet a bare minimum and pay for something that's going to be a waste. Okay? Nitrato, remove your minimums. Or at least make it 2 people minimum for every server. Right? I mean, yeah, there's people out there that love to play solo, but if I want to do that, I'd play a single player world. It's that simple. So, minimum for every server on your entire platform should be 2. The maximum should be 150 or whatever the base game allows, right? But the bare minimum should always be 2. Okay? Not 10, not 20, 2. Because hell, there's a YouTuber I watch, and this actually brings the relevancy of just 2. Okay? There's a YouTuber I watch who has a full Ark series that plays like, adding King Kong mods or Godzilla mods or whatever into his world to make really crazy survivals. And it's him and one person other. Think of that. Him and one person. Literally, the only other person in the world with him is that one other person. So that's what I'm saying, bare minimum 2. And I'm not going to lie, that one person reminds me of one of my old friends I used to talk to all the time who actually rented like Ark servers that literally just bought the server, would pay for it, and I was the one coding it. When I actually couldn't do that for, I think it was like 4 months because I had to go do some other stuff that took up my time, he quit paying for them. And I miss it. And his name was Blueberry. But Blueberry, your voice sounded just like the fucking old man. in this other YouTuber's videos, man. For some reason, every time you spoke, literally you sounded just like him. And it made me think of like, is that him in this man's videos? But anyways, if you guys know who I'm talking about, you know. I can't think of the name right off the top of my head. But Nitrado, base players for minimum 2 all servers. Your RAM should not be a slide bar. The maximum RAM that you give right now under your ultimate literally should already be set in the base price of your servers and already handed when someone buys one. End of story. That's how I feel. Now, yeah, there's people out there that's rich, but I'm not fucking one of them. Okay? I don't have money on top of money on top of money. I don't. I live a little comfortably, where here and there I can spend a little extra money, but I can't say I'm made of money. I'm just not. I live comfortable enough where I don't even do what other people do. Okay? I'm not going to sit here and tell my fans, subscribe to me and keep my lights on. You know, donate to me to help keep my internet bill paid. I'm not doing that. Okay? When I first started YouTube, I started it, and literally when I looked at it, I was like, can I afford it? Right? Of my monthly bills, I pay my own internet, I pay my own electricity, I pay for my own water, right? I made sure I could afford it. Hell, if I can play online and afford to play online, I'm not paying YouTube to be able to post on their app. So why am I asking you guys to pay me? Now, I might say, like, if you guys want to donate to get a server going when I don't have it, right? Would be awesome. But again, I'm not sitting here because you're watching me, you must donate. I don't do that. I might ask you guys if you feel up to it and you feel like if that's what you want to do, you can. But I'm not going to directly ask you guys for it. I don't want to feel like I'm putting my hands in someone else's pocket, right? Because that just to me feels wrong. That's not who I am, okay? But if anyone here needs someone that knows a little bit of coding, I won't say I know every bit of it, but knows a little bit of coding on how to code some of the games and is trying to set up a server. Example, Ark Survival Evolved, Ark Survival Ascended. I can help you with that. And I'm not even going to ask you to pay me. All right? I'm not. The reason for that is if it's a good enough server, I feel like if I can have a little bit of control with the settings and make it in a way that I know I'm going to enjoy the server, I'm going to play on it. Right? It's kind of like my own little server at that point. Why would I ask you to pay me for that? Especially if I can go play on it. I take place in it. It's not like I'm out. I know how to do a little bit of like Daisy code, but for someone else, I can't really do modded structures, like place structures in or remove them. My computer doesn't run Arma, but I can do custom code. For instance, custom loadouts so people spawn with their own gear that you would prefer them to spawn with. Or if you want me to do my own little thing to it where it's a tactical server, so I spawn them with like tactical gear. I can change where people spawn at, the regular coding someone can do. I can run that easy with my computer. I just can't launch Arma and physically place down structures with one of the mods they have there in order to actually customize like maps and stuff, right? So you'll have to find someone else that can do that for you, but I can do the rest of the other coding just fine. Uh, Arc, almost any code I can do. Again, I can't do like custom maps, like build maps that you would do to load on a mod to have like a modded map. Can't do it. But, adding aberration creatures to the island, I can do it. Adding, which is modifying like other world creatures to spawn in on, the different maps, right? I can do that. I can adjust spawn weights. I can remove or add creatures. I can change what drops in your drops and stuff like that. That stuff is easy, right? And a lot of the stuff that you can do is actually edited through like the main connection bit when you sign in. But you could tell me what you kind of is looking for, and I can sit down and do it. And I mean, like, I don't have to sit down and code every bit of it because, you get the thing called beacon where you just point, click, adjust, and then, you know, uh, export it, right? Which you can export through beacon, which I don't advise because beacon adds its own little like code at the very bottom or somewhere throughout it that kind of breaks the coding, which is why you kind of want to, review it, copy and paste it into a text document, and then copy paste it over to your server. Don't try to just strictly export it straight from beacon to your server. It's not good. But again, like a lot of stuff I can do that way. So yeah, stuff like that I can do. So if you're looking for someone to help, like, code, I'll help code. And again, I'm not even going to ask you to pay me. Just not. Um, Again, I'm not going to ask to be in someone else's pocket. Yes, I'm creating time for a service, but if that service is something I can, go play on or do something with, or just ask for admin so if I can see if people are cheating, I can ban them. So that way my experience and other people's isn't being ruined. That's more than enough for me to help code, right? Think of me like the person who helped you code, but wanting to be more of a Komomo, like he does in Rust, right? Flies around, catches cheaters, messes with them, bans them, right? Is kind of what I would just ask to be for the payment. So yeah, I won't even ask to dig into someone's pockets. And again, what says that is I'm not asking you to donate for me. Even without donations today, I'm still up here doing videos on YouTube. And it's not because, like, I'm trying to get donations. It's because it's something I enjoy doing, right? It's not a job. It's not a career. It's something I want to do just because I can. And because I feel like, if it's something I can create to make you guys enjoy it, then I've done my job. That's payment enough. Smash the like button. Okay? Smash the subscribe button. Help my channel grow. That's all I really care about. And I hate to say this, but I'm not a fucking Dota. Okay? He's the exact opposite of me. All right? And I'm not saying this to be completely mean, but I do got to point it out, Dota. You sit in your room smoking. Okay? And I don't mean cigarettes, just you know what I mean. All right? So you're spending your money on something else that you could have chose to save and buy your own PC, but you didn't. Okay, you spent your money on a um incentive, all right? Because it's not a need, it's an incentive. All right. You don't need to smoke what you're smoking. It's not something that you can't live without. Trust me, I don't do it and I'm still here. You don't need it. But anyways, you spent your money on something else and then you're whining for a long time for your fans to donate to you so you can buy a new PC. I'm the exact opposite of you, Dota. Okay? I'm not asking my fans to pay me. You know why? I'm not needy. I'm not helpless. All right? And I'm not a thief. I ain't going to steal from my fans. Okay? If I get paid, I'm going to work for it. And I don't mean videos. Like I said, I literally pay my own bills. If I could pay my bills, still do this, and not receive donations, I'm already able to afford it. Okay? So, no, I'm not going to ask for people to pay for that because I already do it. I already know I can. When I say work, that is me physically building an object like a table, a nightstand, a knife sheath, and sending it to someone, because then I'm actually physically taking up items that I need to pay money for to make the item to send it. Work for it. Okay? That is when I'm going to ask for payment, is when I'm actually working. I'm not like you, Dada. Okay? Don't come to my music channel either, calling me an idiot, calling me a retard. All right? Brother, your Rendis, which something already in the way past, by the way, literally visualized whales breathing underwater. Your basic line from visual to complementary, all right, legit was pushing, like forcing Rin underwater and having him try to breathe underwater while saying Wells, which, by the way, yes, is his hometown, but if we look at that even deeper, is the double. That is a mammal that breaches the water to breathe and dives back under and holds its breath for a really long time. It does not have gills. It does not breathe underwater like a catfish, like a bluegill. Okay? It doesn't. But anyways, playing off of that double, saying for Rin to breathe underwater when he's drowning, right, is the line you're trying to prop there, but incorporating Wells. Whales don't breathe underwater either. They drowned. Okay. The IQ for that line setup was horrible. Okay. On top of that, if we know what plagiarism is and copyright, which you don't even know half of what that actually literally means, which is basically taking someone's art, someone's career, the way they make money, examples like, for instance, Call of Duty makes Call of Duty games, right? You can't make a Call of Duty game and not be called Call of Duty. All right. That is actually plagiarizing / thieving someone else's creation. All right. You're doing that. Yeah, I do Eminem remakes, but I don't ask people to pay me for it. You, on the other hand, not only have you tried doing cooking videos like Gordon Ramsay and failing at it epically, because, even the lowest tier cooking channel still beats you. Because at least they have their ingredients on the fucking table. They're not literally looking at their camera, guys, wait a minute, I gotta go to the cabinet. Go grab the shit over and over and over, delaying even more time to your cooking because you just couldn't have it all in preparation already on the counter that you're at or the table. Okay? You already failed the cooking videos. You're not Gordon Ramsay. Second, Can we not mention who Knox Hill is? Yes, he's a rapper, but what is his main stuff he does in his videos? Can you give me a hint? All right, stream bar breakdowns. He goes through almost any artist and breaks down bar for bar what the bar means. He also counts the syllables and all the different type stuff and technicalizes it too. Okay, so he breaks everything down. Dota, what is your streams again for the past 2 years? Bar breakdowns. I mean, yeah, you've added to it, but it's not something you've made yourself again. Do we know who No Life Shack is? Stream. It is a music reaction channel. It is a dude named No Life Shack who listens to Eminem, rock bands, other artists, and reacts. Especially when Benzino went at Eminem again. You know, Fat Ordeal or Justin Bieber or anyone else. Like, dude, he reacts, right? Especially when, M kind of like when Drake tried to diss him and he was like, yo, Drake, you shouldn't be saying that, like blah blah, it's crazy. Like he reacts to it, okay? On top of your, streams again, which I just said you done Knox Hill, stealing from him, you've combined it to be No Life Shack. Again, not your style of content. You didn't make that. So you are now stealing from No Life Shack, doing his content type, mixing it with, again, Knox Hill, who does breakdowns, and you're twisting that and combining it to pretend like you've made something new. You didn't. You just stole two different platforms and combined it and pretending like you've made that. And it's like you're the one who's made it solely. No. Okay. You're at that point knocking two different platforms, which I've named here. And that's horrible. Okay. You plagiarized two platforms to make your own style of content at that point. But let's continue moving forward. Okay. Not only have you done that, but I guess this is a way you can say is a shout out in the way. But what is brevity? Anyone know? I'll give you a hint. Condensing larger words into smaller ones, or AKA helping you grow knowledge, right? Word wise. Which also, by the way, takes the smaller words and puts them into the larger ones so people can understand larger words as well. Your album literally was the name of an app. Shocker. Something you didn't think of yourself. Should I go again? Okay, how about Power Rangers? Are we really that delusional? You understand you were not, or you are, okay, literally stealing from other people's platforms to grow your own. Do I really need to consistently break this down for Dota? Again, I'm the exact opposite. All right. Yeah, you can say I do like videos for certain gamings, but the thing is, I don't own every game in the world. So I can only put videos to the games I own and like playing. So I can't really say I'm taking from someone else's content, unlike Dota. All right. So Dota, don't call me an idiot. Bro, you shouldn't even have the following you've gained off of everything you've literally stole from other people at that point. Hell, bro, you talk shit and you don't even back it up 100% of the time. Trust me, I witnessed it. I literally sat down and said, I'll be the middleman to fucking host the shit. Because I was sitting in your stream as it was happening, bro. A dude joined into your thing after you literally made a Call of Duty video, which, by the way you were going about the Call of Duty video was basically being another YouTuber. But anyways, I get it. People like to vent. As am I. I'm venting right now. So technically, yes, I'm doing like other channels. But end of the day, he called you ass. Okay? Which you are. You're horrible at Call of Duty. But anyways, uh your ass said you could beat him. Okay? After the dude called you horrible, you said, I could beat you. Shut up. And he legit asked for a chow. Like, hey, invite me, I invite you. Let's 1v1 right now. Hell, to be honest with you, I even sat down and said, you can stream snipe me, and I'll still wager you for $50 or like $50 to $100. That would have been easy for me to get. But mindful of that, both times you said no and tried to make an excuse. Brother. Or should I say, dumbass. If you're going to say you can beat someone and you're that high on your high horse, chow it. Okay? If I was to sit here and tell someone in my stream I could beat them, and they came at me with a wager, I'd take it. Hell, even if it ain't for it, right? I ain't making money directly from the wager. Or even we'll say it's not a wager, it's free. We just chose to 1v1 because the dude was trash talking me. And let's say I was getting paid through content I make on YouTube. That's content, brother. That's more shit for a video. Why would I say no to that? But anyways, Dota, I've sat here and trolled you in music. And the funny thing is, I only have 2 YouTube accounts, guys. 2. Red Shady, Demonic Plays. As I've already said it before on stream in the past, telling you to go check out Red Shady, which is my music channel, and then telling people from Red Shady or even this channel that, I want subscribers on Demonic Plays, which is the channel you guys see now. But Dota has the audacity to be dumb as fuck, thinking I'm joining on multiple accounts to tell him how dumb he's being at certain times. Oh God, I must have like the free time to sit down and make like X amount of accounts while I'm gaming. While live streaming. Literally, I sit there and read like from my main account, guys. Yeah, I joined in on my main account. As in not the red shady one with the demonic one, which is the one you guys see now. And literally sat and read comments from Dota expressing how we thought like 4 or 5 other members was me. And the funny thing is, the verbiage and vocabulary was all different. Think of that. All different, but somehow they're all the same person. Dota. Also, don't call someone retarded if you don't know how to punctuate your fucking sentences. I hate to put it that way, but dude, when you are responding to anyone in your comments, it's like it's an infinite run-on sentence. Like, bro, do you not know what a comma is? a period, an exclamation mark, any punctuation. Like, dude, you're sitting there saying, I don't make sense, right? When I commented with my main channel, by the way, or when other people comment, you say they don't make sense, but they're actually punctuating their sentences, adding commas in when they talk about multiple different things. Example, breaking down the Knox Hill shit to No Life Shack to something like Gordon Ramsay. It ain't No Life Shack, Gordon Ramsay, the blah, 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 and a run on. No, they're literally adding a comma. So everyone knows where to stop, to breathe, and to know when something new is being listed. And you're saying they don't make sense. Mind blown, brother. Mind blown, dumbass. Sorry, guys. I have to get shit off my chest, man, sometimes and rant, especially if the game's pissing me off due to like hackers and they having a very horrible like cheat detection, servers being horrible with, how they should be set up, hence the video before this one. Mods that people add to servers, having like stupid balancing issues that are like really stupid that I have to comment on that maybe a lot of people can view, see the like gain traction, maybe even reach the mod developers to fix the stuff that is actually kind of stupid to make everything make a little more sense, especially in a kind of a realism setting. But anyways, right, we get the idea. But sometimes I do need to cover a topic, and one of those topics are usually the things that's kind of in front of you too, which is, Dota. Somehow the man has made it to make it on stage on TV while stealing from 5 different other creators. Like, guys, is theft supposed to make you cool? Because if so, do I need to start robbing from people? Do I need to start like charging like fucking outrageous fees for shit that shouldn't have those fees in order to actually get by smoother in life? Do I really need to do that shit? Like, fuck. Yeah, I needed to sit and vent for a minute, guys. I did. It is a headache. Also, for the music channel, I do have another song coming out, and it is bashing a channel that we have dissed in the past. Dota, it is not you. You are still far too far under my radar today. I just wanted to go ahead and admit something that other people should be seeing and literally give the audience to someone who deserves it. And I'm not even saying myself. Hell, Dax, Ren, Knox Hill, give them the views. They deserve it. Not Dota. Okay? Hell, even what's his name? I'm trying to remember the name. He's actually someone that has produced with Eminem but started on YouTube. Give him the views. Right? Dota does not deserve it at all. And again, like I said, and it doesn't even have to be for me. It doesn't. At this point, you guys can hear that, choose to turn your back on Dota, and go to Knox Hill. And it wouldn't even bother me. But at least make the smart decision. And stop wasting your brain cells with Dota. Okay? Stop giving a thief time. Until he stops stealing from other fucking creators. He can't tell people to be original. and not be fucking original. Literally, the motherfucker will sit there and say, "You're not original," right? And diss people who copy while turning around and copying multiple fucking people. And a lot of people are fucking retarded, and I hate to say that because they're too blind, or blind, I should say, to see it. And go and give him the likes. And sometimes I do understand you guys are not stupid, okay? Because some people just don't know about the other fucking creators. I don't know how the fuck you don't, but they don't. And need to start look at the other creators before, okay, before Dota ever dissed them, and look at what they were doing, and then look at when Dota started doing some of the stuff he does. And to make it even funnier, he is a knockoff version of them, like a horrible fucking version of them. On top of being stoned out of his mind, not even understanding the fluency of most sentences said, right? Which, by the way, wants to question why his girl fucking left him. I mean, like, yeah, that's fucking surprising, right? But anyways, guys, let's not attack him too personal here. All right? Let's not, because he might take that too personal and get a little butt hurt when it's the truth. And he might act like a little 23-year-old female who can't actually take responsibility for her actions. No offense, not every female's like that, but a good portion of you are. All right? Accountability, responsibility, a lot of females can't do it. Some of you can't, and the ones that can, amazing women. But there's a lot that can't. And Dota's more like one of those. Okay, who can't. But anyways, guys. Let's give views to someone who deserves it. Even if it's not myself, give it to someone who deserves it. Do not give it to fucking Dota. He is nowhere near the phase or personality or the right to earn it. Okay? Nowhere near it. I don't care if he wants to diss me tomorrow. I wouldn't even have to fucking fire back or respond. And a lot of people will take it that I'm scared. But the reality of it all is he's fucking horrible. Okay? Why do I need to sit down in a beef with somebody that has a lower IQ than I do for me to lose brain cells on? Wouldn't gain it. It wouldn't be like I'd be understanding something new and learning. I would actually be having to put out so much info that then I have to listen to him through stupid ass ways to reply, through shit that doesn't make sense, like Wells breathing the fuck underwater, to lose brain cells. Literally, I would become dumber, okay, every 5 seconds of listening to him to respond. Why would I verse that back? I wouldn't. Like I said, he's really not on the radar for me to respond. Now, if I got dissed by Dax, that'd be fucking murder. Like, what the fuck, dude? Like, I'd have to work to actually respond to that. And also, he probably could kill me in a battle. I'm going to give that out. Like, rap, bar for bar, Dax would kill me. Okay? Knox Hill, I'd say a little bit even. But he is more versed in rap because he's done it longer. Yeah, I'm probably still taking an L. All right, it's even, but I'm taking the L. Dota, why would I have to respond to dumbassery? Okay, nah. I wouldn't even need the time of day to respond to him. Not until he's gained a few IQ points. When I say a few, like a lot. Okay? His IQ level is like, Jesus Christ, maybe only 100. Maybe only 100. I'd point his IQ at 100. Nothing over it. Let's put it this way. I can look at words at 3, 4, 5 syllables and put them in a line together for everyone to have to literally count every syllable over and over and over to count the actual fucking syllables compared to Dota. Okay? And all this time I've been saying he's copying. Notice the name I've been saying. Dota. One, he's a dodo, and he's trying to like mimic me when I told him when I got my name, right? That I use for my music channel, which by the way, if you go literally onto my Facebook, scroll for a second, there is actually multiple times a video pops up of when I used to be literally like 400 fucking pounds with long ass fucking hair in high school, freestyling, and people behind me literally chanting shady or rabbit, rabbit, or red rabbit. You hear it. I gained the nickname. And then after literally mentioning that side to say that I've actually been called it, I gained it. I didn't name myself it. It was given to me. Right? Dota goes, oh yeah, that's how I got it. Literally copying me on how I said I got my name. I don't know who called you Dota, because I don't know anyone who would name someone after a dumb video game that didn't fucking make it. Literally. There is a video game that you were named after, or technically named yourself after, that failed. It flopped. I'm talking to the point of it made a second game that barely seen any fucking numbers playing it. That the relevancy of it in any conversation does not make it by. Literally, type in DOTA. All you did was add a second T. Your name, DOTTA, the game name is DOTA. There was a Dota 1 and a Dota 2. Are you Dota 3? My lord, brother. Nothing about you screams you deserve what you got. Everything about you is copied. Do I really need to sit down and talk about how fucking dumb this dude is? Jesus Christ, dude. A rap style is one thing because, let's be honest, mocking literally is the best way to say someone's the best. Okay? When someone mimics or mocks something, especially a rapper, like sounding exactly like Eminem, that's actually saying, hey, go listen to Eminem. I'm mimicking this because that's who I like. If you like how I sound, there's that other artist who actually done it before me. Right? So you're actually not only gaining for yourself, but you're gaining for that other guy. No offense. Right? Because if everyone knows that I do Eminem remakes, who am I literally saying is the best at that point? Eminem. Who am I saying I like? Eminem. Right? So copying a flow is actually very good for the other artist. Right? Am I singing his songs? No. Do you hear me over here actually rapping fucking Mockingbird, like the entire lyric word for word and trying to get paid for it? No. I'm not stealing from my favorite artist. I might use the instru. I put my own words to it, meaning my own lyrics. I might like how a chorus sounds. But do I use the exact word for word chorus? No. Unless like I'm actually doing something to troll. And then at that point, I'll actually tell people in the bottom comments, hey, this is actually Eminem's chorus. Go listen to the real song. But mostly, I change the lyrics. I remove like at least 20% of the words, if not add my own. I a lot of the times I will completely make my own fucking chorus from scratch. None of his words. It might have the same tone to sound like him, but it's my own lyrics 100% of the way through the song. Whenever you change something for it not to be struck by copyright, you have to change more than 70% of the object. Not using his chorus, not his lyrics. Okay, that's already changing a good wide version of it. It's literally 50-50. So yes, you can still hit me for copyright at that point. But the funny thing is, the people that actually work for him, that I've used the instrumentals for, I'm not struck by them. They still allow my shit to hit YouTube. They still allow it. Literally, I could show you that it's still allowed, right? I'm not copyright struck from them. The one time I actually got copyright struck, and it's the only time, okay, was during ARC, before I started doing music again. Someone actually asked me, because I told them like I was a big fan of Eminem, they asked me, could I do a cover live, by the way, on live stream of a particular Eminem song. By the way, which just wasn't Eminem. It was a whole other artist. That instead of doing the other artist, I only done M's verses, okay, which is Renegade, okay? I got copyright struck for literally saying both of, like, literally doing a cover for both of Eminem's verses in Renegade while playing Ark, okay? And that was something a viewer asked me to do. That wasn't something I decided to do and try to get paid off of. That was literally a viewer come by and was like, hey, do a cover for us. And I did it. Word for word. Didn't need the lyrics for it. I knew the lyrics. And I did it. Okay? Would I advise to do it again? No. Nobody deserves to get hit by a copyright strike. And I was dumb enough to listen to a viewer ask for it at that time. I will say I was dumb enough. But I did it for a viewer. Everything I make now might be their beat or it's a remake of the beat, right? Because I use either or. If I like a remake more than I do the original song, then I'll use the remade beat, which has a different look to it, but still the same feel and aesthetic, slash maybe near the same sound, just maybe a higher pitch, lower pitch, or something's a little different, right? And my own lyrics, my own chorus. Hell, I done a remake to one song which I sound cringy on. I'm not gonna lie, I do. I couldn't do the full chorus exactly down to note that I wanted to do, but I still done it because I felt like doing the song and I felt like it still needed to be pushed as a go listen to Eminem. His new album is coming out. So I did it. Uh, but I didn't even use the full chorus. I used a good portion of his words, yeah. But I didn't use all. I think the only song I ever done word for word of Eminem's chorus, okay, is one of his newest ones that just come out. Literally the only one. And it's just because I felt like the chorus felt so nice just to do as like a little troll that I done it at the very end of the song. Literally, the very fucking end is the only time I used it. And it wasn't even the full repeat of the chorus where you do it twice. I only done it once. That way, it wasn't the full actual chorus. It was half because it's still word for word, but it wasn't doubled. So at that point, yeah, I copyrighted, but it was for good reason. The actual chorus he wrote felt in nice with the remake I was doing, and again, the chorus was awesome. So I did it just as homage. Like, hey, this is the chorus, but you know what? I even think I said, like, this is Eminem's chorus to X, Y, and Z's song. Go listen to it. Which, by the way, I put down in the channel the name of the song so people could go listen to the real one, right? Not only gaining Eminem views, maybe having people go buy the song legitimately, especially for people who actually love him and didn't know that was a song, maybe went and actually picked it up. Actually putting people to go listen to him. You do the opposite, Dota. Okay? Where I sit down, I took the song and I actually say what song it is. Like, it's the instrumental of this song. The real one is named this. Go listen to it. You don't even once name Knox Hill to give credit towards the style of shit you do, you know, the bar breakdowns. You don't say, I'm doing bar breakdowns. The original creator is here, and then putting at Knox Hill with a link to his channel. Your reaction videos, or you're also breaking down bars, you are not giving credit to the person who deserves it. That is the original creator of it. No Life Shack, buddy. No Life Shack. You're not giving credit there where credit is due. When you do cooking videos, and I don't mean videos where you say your kid wants something be to make, like a meal to be made, right? If you go cook as a father, I thought about you sat down and made an actual, like, full on live stream just to cook. Not once did you actually quote any chef. You took it as if it's your own idea to do, right? You are not giving credit where credit is due. You're not the original creator of something. You credit the person who is. That's how that works. Hell, there's a friend of mine who passed away before he even got out of high school. Okay? That's sad. I made a song about it. I had people come to me being like, "Oh, your drama, and you made a song for a friend who X, Y, and Z." Oh, it pissed me off. I made a song about them, by the way, which is also a squad who was a pussy in DayZ. So if you want to listen to that, it is on Red Shady. But anyways, let's walk back from that. When I done that, I actually quoted when I done a song that had his vocals in it, literally calling to me in the song. I let everybody know Dark Drave, which was his YouTube, okay? Where he went and done music. He's not the best, but it's something he wanted to do, learn how to do, and get into, and it's something he was inspired to want to do. So when he was doing it and fell into a situation where he felt before passing away, he tried to reach out to me in a song, and, well, I didn't see it, so I got to it late. But afterwards, what I told myself was, not only am I still going to do the reply to this, even though it's late, to say how good of a person he was as a friend to me and everyone else, is every year I am going to make at least one song paying homage to him, which I still got to write the song for this year, but it'll be a little further away. It's actually going to be in a couple, like within the next couple days to a week. I'm going to be writing a song to pay homage to him. Okay? but I'm keeping him alive through my music. That is paying homage. But again, I'm giving credit where credit is due. You don't, Dota. You don't. So if you want to talk about someone who's good or dishonorable, Dota, you are dishonorable up to the highest standard. Not only do you not give credit to where it's due, you're eating off of the platforms that you're not giving credit to, okay? But you try and threaten people that try to speak the truth. That's not honorable, my dude. If you had any sense of honor, which is what kings actually have, right? There's a reason why knights are called noble. They form a group and they follow a set of rules that provide honor. And that honor extends out to a king. Something, again, you fail to have. So am I pulling this to be a complete diss to you? No. This is more something for you to learn. That way, maybe later you can become a better person and more likable. Hell, then if you became a better person, I wouldn't have any query with you. A quarrel with you is the best word there. To say, like, you're horrible in this way. Not everyone's perfect. I'm not asking you to be perfect, because no one's perfect. But I'm asking you, from man to a man, to better yourself. If you want to tell people to make genuine content, make genuine content. Don't be the double standard. But I'm going to pop off here, guys, just because I kind of wanted to sit down and work on a new song. And Dota, the difference between me and you, especially when writing a song, you call my songs freestyles, but yet they have the province of something written. And the funny thing is, a lot of my freestyles back in the day sounded written. And the reason for that is I actually took pride in my freestyles and stepped up my wordplay to actually sit in proper areas and category and have thought behind it, even in freestyles. It wouldn't be the first thing it popped, even though a lot of the times first thing it popped started feeling normal to say things in the proper sentence structure. But even starting out, I would freestyle, play it back to myself, learn like, hey, I said something there that actually is not right. Kind of like if you actually sit down and listen to your song versus Rin, Dota, okay, and literally listen to your well bar and then rewrote it out and put something else in that sounded smarter, nobody could say, like, dude, you're fucking stupid for that. Okay? No one. And that's actually sitting down and taking the time. I did that when I actually freestyled. Okay? My freestyles today, by the way, when I sit down and I do feel like freestyling, still sound as if I write them a little bit. There's still some things that are off, but I can still think about things or try to implement things while freestyling. Like I'm writing it in my head, and then like 20 moves ahead, like you do in chess, is how my freestyles are. So I could say, like, oh, in X amount of words, I want to be able to say this and flip it X amount of times and actually pull doubles and triples while freestyling, my dude. I can bring the imagery and think about the image I want before I say it. Okay? I put thought into my freestyles. Do I always write? No. But do I write sometimes? Yes. Especially if I'm going to have a chorus, I'm going to make sure I hit it right, I write it. Another thing that is also different, Dota, is I don't sit down for a whole week to memorize what I wrote. When I write something and I produce it, literally the writing might take me 3 hours. To production after that is just another hour. Okay? So literally 4 hours for the entire song, not a week. Again, I don't memorize it. I write it, I produce it. It's not even in memory. If I mess something up, yes, I can say there's multiple takes, but at that time, I didn't sit down and memorize it. Okay, it's more like the one take videos you see, where they write it and immediately go with it, is what's there. It's not memorized. It's genuinely what I feel directly at that time. And if I write it and I start producing it, I don't change a fucking word. Okay, which I probably should, because again, I could probably think of multiple different ways to say different things, maybe find new ways to say it that sounds better, but I don't. Think of it more like how Eminem used to like make music slash freestyle. He didn't write songs. He wrote bars that he would pull from a page to freestyle that isn't directly in a actual full song. It is just written down bars that he thought was cool at the moment, wrote it down, scribbled it in a page, and moved on. Thought about a different bar at a different moment, scribbled it down, wrote it, kept moved on. And then literally after hitting enough of those different bars, where some of them all accumulate into the same idea form, where then he then takes, we'll say, 500 of his bars he wrote down and combines them to make his song. That's how my music is more than likely to be, and I don't sit and memorize it. And I can produce what I produce without needing a fucking week, a month, 3 months. I can produce a song the same day as I fucking write it. The caliber I write with the multi-syllables, the fucking schemes, the imagery, the flipping for the doubles, the triples, the fucking 3 quads I fucking wrote. Especially where I put 3 of them in the same fucking song. 3 hours to write, 1 to produce it. I didn't need a month. That's what I'm saying. Dota, my IQ is higher. And that's why I'm telling you, I don't need to reply to you. You making a song, you still took the L. I don't have to say shit for you to take that L. That L is already 0-1. Like, literally for you is 0-1 for me. The IQ is already there for me. Literally, you're like 2 seconds, and my song would probably be done. The pointers I gave out today, bro, I've only gave, what, 6, 8 fucking pointers that I said you copied? How many more have I already done in music that I trolled you with? Literally trolled. Like, I even admitted to you they're trolls, but I ain't fucking scared of you. I'm not. Okay? I don't care if you diss me today. I wouldn't even fucking sweat. Okay? I wouldn't even need to reply. I can look at him and be like, that's funny. Dumbass just fucking said something about me. Not gonna lie, a dumbass that I've already dissed is a lot smarter than you. And at least when he wrote his music, it at least made sense and didn't have any dumbass imagery in it. And was plausible for more syllables than you. I would worry about a JT Green music response coming to me than I would a Dota. That's end of story, my dude. Talk what he wants, but I don't have to listen to dumbassery. Argue with a dumbass, you look like a dumbass. Okay? So if I was to respond to a dumbass, that only makes me a dumbass. I affiliated myself with a dumbass to become a dumbass. Okay? That's literally what I was taught growing up. Don't be a dumbass by arguing with a dumbass. Damn. But again, I will point it out. Just truth and all, so everybody else at least can see it. That way we don't have little Dotas from just viewers running around. God, dude. I couldn't imagine the state of this world would have to be in, and it would be worse than Gen Z with a million fucking Dotas. Literally dodos. Bro, we've already seen it once through a dino bird that is no longer with us. Let's all not repeat that cycle. But as always, hope you guys like and enjoyed the stream. Till next time, love you. Bye.